And since we love The Office so much, it's really painful to watch pretty much everything else that's on TV right now.
Right.
I don't know what it is this season, but this is like the atomic wasteland for good television this season.
And you would have thought with the writer's strike, they had plenty of time.
No, and that's a good point.
They would have
there was
plenty of time to come up with good storylines, new good shows. Just they had all the time in the world to make TV come back better than
Not
ever.
just new shows, but they had more time to do the old shows.
Right.
But this, can you name 2 brand new shows this season that you have enjoyed?
Yeah, The Mentalist. I love. It's my favorite new show.
Which is a horrible ripoff of Psych, which I believe.
but to be fair, the basic premise is a ripoff, but they are 2 completely different shows because Psych is such a broad comedy, and The Mentalist.
But the same concept.
Absolutely. Okay. For sure. But The Mentalist, I love. And after that, there's a couple new shows that I like and enjoy, but nothing that I like as much as that one. And I was discussing this with someone earlier in the week. It was my mom. But we were talking about how the show basically is just a generic crime procedural. And it's because Simon Baker, the lead actor, is so charming, and he does.
I think that's what they're selling.
He does the character so well. He makes the show better, but without him, it's just a generic procedural. So it's not like they're doing anything new.
I've watched 1, and I have like 2 on the DVR. Mm-hmm. Just because I like the whole concept of Psych, so I'm figuring if I like Psych, then I'll try to give this one a shot.
And the thing is, because of the failing economy, the networks are reluctant to cancel anything this season. There's only been about 3 shows canceled this season.
And they're really bad.
They were really bad and had really low ratings to get canceled. They figured we can do better with a repeat. Like CBS canceled the X List.
Which I want to just make a little note here of Viewpoints on comment. Yeah. Do my Keith Olbermann thing.
Go ahead.
Why they put the X List on, knowing it was a horrible concept, and they canceled Shark, which was a great show, was getting respectable ratings.
And already had a following built up.
Yeah, and I love Shark. And then they just cancel it for this piece of crap. And it's like, canceled. And you're like, okay.
So I guess they figured they canceled it and they could do better with an NCIS rerun in its place, which they probably can.
Well, no, but it's still annoying.
I can understand that, but yeah, the whole TV season has just been awful. I mean, they gave a full season to Knight Rider. Are you kidding me? Knight Rider
and Terminator, which Adrian, our car enthusiast slash producer slash stage manager, loves Knight Rider.
But I mean, it's not complicated television, but it's not very good. Now, Terminator, I'm glad they gave the full season order to, because I love the show, and I had sort of stopped watching because I thought it was
inevitable.
I thought it had a foot in the grave, so I was like, I'll just give that time to something else. But now I've got to catch back up with it because they've given it a full season order, so that's good news.
I'm actually enjoying Fringe. Like The Mentalist, it is a direct, concept theft from the from another show, which is the X-Files. It is just like the X-Files. But it's mildly interesting, and it keeps me kind of like wanting to watch because they're doing like with Lost, or they put like things online. They put little clues in there, and where you have to go online to see what that really meant. And I'm not getting into that. Yeah, I'm not getting into that, but I'm really digging the show.
Well, I've been watching a lot of cable shows because the network shows haven't been good. So I've really been getting into Dexter a lot more this season. Entourage has been good. So
I can argue with that.
That'll
be for another show.
I think Entourage has been good. I've been getting into Dexter and Californication, and so I've been watching a lot more cable. So, but I guess it's time for us to move on. We're getting the sign that we need to.
But speaking of horrible TV.
Yeah,
Like, what was it last week? I didn't even know this was on. I just turned on, and the Scream Awards were on, Spike TV's Scream Awards.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing was our own intrepid reporter, Stephanie Holland, actually braved the psychos and went.
I went live to the Scream Awards. Here's the thing. However awful you thought they were watching them on TV, it was twice as awful in person because I had to sit through everything like 2 or 3 times. So, and not to mention, it was somebody's bright idea to hold them outdoors at the Greek Theater in Hollywood, which, by the way, is a fantastic venue. It's fantastic to go there. Not the best drive, but but fantastic when you're there. But outdoors at night, it was a little chilly. And the funniest part of the night is part of the tickets that we got to sit in the bleachers for the red carpet. The way they had us positioned in the bleachers, though, we only ever got to see the backs of anybody's heads. So it was just like, oh, look, it's the back of Frank Miller's head. Oh, look, woo! It's the back of Hellboy's head.
Oh!
Woo! Yeah, right.
I want back of Hellboy's 2's autograph.
Right. So it was the backs of everybody. I mean, if we screamed loud enough, a couple people would turn around and say hi and come over. Frank Miller was great. He came over and shook hands. Jared Padalecki from Supernatural also came and gave like the whole row of bleachers a high five.
He's also in the new Friday the 13th movie, right?
Right, which they did do a preview of during the show.
But you also saw my future wife. You actually saw her up close, correct?
Saw Kate Beckinsale up close. Tim is madly in love with Kate Beckinsale.
Did you see Underworld 2?
Adrian, behind the camera, also in love with Kate Beckinsale. And let me tell you guys, as gorgeous as she is on screen, she is even more beautiful in person. Just drop dead, breathtakingly gorgeous. And we walked by and we're like, oh my God, it's Kate Beckinsale. Oh my God, she's gorgeous.
I'm going to admit this on tape. Mm-hmm. I'm a moron because you had an extra ticket, you invited me, and I did not want to go at the last minute. Yeah. And I'm kicking myself now.
Because he could have walked right by.
Yeah, because I just would have went Kate Beckinsale, and then I just would have sat. I wouldn't even bother to watch a show or anything.
There was some fun moments. There was some really fun moments. When Gary Oldman came out and he presented Heath Ledger with his 2 awards, that was a really nice moment. When the big finale, I know you thought it looked lame on TV, but let me tell you, being there in person as a proud Star Wars nerd, when Samuel Jackson came out and presented that award to George Lucas and the stage was lined with stormtroopers and the green lasers were gone and the music was playing, I am not ashamed to admit I got a little choked up because that's how much I love Star Wars.
I did too because it was horrible.
How dare you? How dare you? But here's the thing. The concept behind the awards is great to honor the stuff that nerds like us are into.
Yeah, I appreciate the concept.
But the execution could have used some help. And the organization when we were there, like, oh, nobody knew where to send us. And so...
Well, you got to figure that maybe the Oscars weren't this smooth when they first started,
Right. So this is like their 4th year or something.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was the first one.
No. This is like the third or fourth awards that they've done this.
That's kind of embarrassing, then.
So, yeah, they just need to get their execution down a little better, but the idea behind it is lots of fun.
Yeah. There's really no awesome news that came out of the Scream Awards, was there? Just a few trailers that we've kind of seen before, but nothing.
Yeah, they allegedly showed some new exclusive footage from Watchmen, but let me tell you, it was all the same footage that we've all seen and about 10 seconds of new stuff.
Yeah, which is weird.
It was they also did a preview of Twilight, which I'm just not at all into. A friend of the show, Sandra Diaz, is pretty much obsessed with Twilight, and that was all she talked about the whole night. But they did show Twilight, and like you said, they showed Friday the 13th, and which I didn't watch, but everybody else in the crowd seemed to enjoy.
I didn't, but
it was fun to go. But I probably will continue to watch it on television in the coming years.
Well, since no news came out of that, we do have our little Viewpoints on news break where we've collected a few nuggets of information. Around the world of pop culture.
A few random news stories, sure.
So would you like to start with our main news story?
Right, the Iron Man Avengers news.
Yes.
If you've been under a rock and you haven't heard, obviously Don Cheadle has replaced Terrence Howard in the Iron Man series as James Rhodes or War Machine. I believe this is because I think that they're going to maybe give War Machine his own movie, and they wanted Don Cheadle instead of Terrence Howard. Now, not that Terrence Howard's not great, because he is, but I don't think we're ever really going to hear the truth behind this story.
It's going to be a he said, they said sort of thing.
Right, and Don Cheadle's great, so I think it's a win situation for the fans. It's a lose situation.
Well, if you go through the whole announcement, there's it kind of glosses over the fact that Don Cheadle's also signed to be in the Avengers movie too.
Mm-hmm.